Yes then guys, and welcome to the YouTube channel. If you are into FIFA 22 videos, then this is the place to be. We have got how-tos, trading advice, SBCs, pack openings, rewards, explanations, for example how rival rewards work or foot champs, or how to get yourself FGS swaps, etc. much more. Then this is the channel to be. So make sure you hit that subscription button, turn on notifications bell so you miss a future video, and let's just jump straight into today's video. So I've seen a lot of controversy going around with goalkeepers, so I thought I'd give my opinion on goalkeepers. So we're going to start with this formation, striker being the worst out of the 10, the midfield and cam position being mid-tier, okay, defensive from centre-back, left-back, right-back being good, and the goalkeeper being the best out of the 10. I was going to do a tier list, but I think this is more interesting because we can talk about prices, we can talk about their height, their weak foot and their traits. So without further ado, let's just jump straight in. So the first one on our list is Petr Cech. Really good goalkeeper in real life, probably one of the Prem's best that we ever had. A very good height, left foot, obviously his weak foot and skill moves are absolutely irrelevant. In terms of statistics, kicking's a bit low, but obviously diving, handling, reactions and positioning are fantastic. Acceleration and speed are almost normal for a goalkeeper, but this is where the problem lies, and this is why he is number 10 in our top 10. Caution with crosses. This is the worst trait a keeper can have in FIFA 22, and there's many reasons for this. One, obviously with the corner glitch, if you don't know, in Division 1 and higher, maybe at the high echelon or foot chance, people do the corner glitch. This is when you have your corner setting set to 1. So you have one guy on the edge of the box when you hit near post. If you don't know how to do the near post or close call, it's RB or R1 before you take the corner. You'll have a man stood next to you as a short corner. You pass it into him and you direct pass it into the edge of the box who first time crosses it. No one defends it. Keepers cannot save it unless you bring them out by using the move the goalkeeper movement with the right analog stick. So basically with this caution with crosses, he doesn't come out for corners. He won't come out for crosses in-game, and he will not come out for crosses with free kicks or anything like that. Doesn't sound that big a deal, but you'll notice that if you are holding down triangle and Y to bring him out, he's immediately going to have a problem where he'll have a split-second delay, and that costs him a lot of goals. With his height as well, because he's so tall and is one of those, he just doesn't translate in the game very well. EA released this for a reason, in my opinion, not to be down the road of conspiracy theories, etc. But 88 rated Cech is definitely not the one. In real life, he was fantastic. In the game, he's not. He's currently coming in at 276 on FootBin as a squad builder. And on the market, he's around 250, 240. He'll keep dropping, in my opinion. People are going to start realizing. So that is not the greatest. That means we are moving on to our number 9. So, Lloris is our number 9, coming in at 6'2", left-footed, obviously skill move, weak foot again, not that important. But you notice the difference between him and Cech. Worse in diving, better in handling, worse in kicking, better in kicking, worse reflexes, and obviously slower, and positioning is only 4 off. So again, basic chem style will boost them up just like it would with Cech. But he rushes out for goal, and to me this is super important. I use this a lot, and the reason why this is so good is, say your opponent does a long through ball and you've got no chance of recovering. Even though you've read it, EA do this thing where you can't stop it. Rushing out from goal is perfect in this scenario because you can catch your opponent off guard. Yes, you can do this by pressing Y or triangle at any time, but that means he's already got that step ahead. So if you want to cancel it and try and bait them into the fake chip shot or into a chip shot, you will get the ball 9 out of 10 times. I managed to use this quite a lot at the weekend. It helps me out big time because people don't know if you're going to rush or if you're not going to rush. With that trait, he automatically rushes out a little bit and then you can carry it on. And that also means he comes out for crosses because he's not cautious. So corners, he'll rush out to get them if you tell them to. Crosses from free kicks and in-game the same. So for me, he's number 9. He's coming in at quite a cheap price. He's currently coming in around 18k on Xbox, so that is a cheap. Obviously, the links alone are great. French can link to Kimpembe and Varane and have them both left and right-hand side on full chemistry. Plus, Koundé if he wanted to, or Flashback Titi. There's so many options having a French goalkeeper, but he's my number 9 for that reason, just because of his height, really, and his price. If he wasn't that cheap or that good with links, he wouldn't be in this list. So that is now going to lead us on to number 8. Number 8 is Rule Breakers Anthony Lopez. I love this card. Again, this card is so cheap. It's very small for a keeper, 6 foot, but he makes up for it in his reflexes and his speed with the diving. And as you can see, traits, he comes for crosses. And this is mad important. Reflecting back on Cech, it is the opposite. So if the corner, he'll rush out to grab it. Free kicks, he'll rush out to grab it. Crosses, if you tell him to, he'll rush out to grab it. And that is very important this year. I cannot stress enough. Again, really good links. Portugal, French League. Obviously, you can link him to the new Ruben Diaz with the signature sign-in. Or you can go French League. He just gives you so many options, especially like now the Liga is basically the most go-to defensive back line there is in the game. Obviously, EA will push more special cards from Portugal in the centre-back position. We've got Pepe. We've got the milestone Portuguese league card. So there's so many options around that. And he's just, because he's boosted so much on reflexes, when he gets the basic chem style, which will put him on a +5, that's his reflexes to 99, handling 87, dive into 94, position into 89. So again, he's a really good rounded card for his price. We will check his price right now. So it's currently coming in around 13 to 14k, which is a ridiculously cheap price for a player of this caliber. So that is why he's number 8 in my list. Obviously, his height does hinder him a little bit, but because coming out for crosses puts him up, and that is why he is number 8. We are going to move on to number 7. Number 7 being Ederson. He's coming in at 6'2". Really good rounded card again, quite fast for a goalkeeper, great base stats. Again, 2 perfect traits. Come for crosses, rushes out for goal, like he does in real life. There is one thing I have noticed with him, and if you ever are playing against Ederson, and this is probably the main reason why you don't see him that often, is because if you shoot near post, for some reason he does not save it. I don't know if that's down to his 88 positioning or his height or something in the code it doesn't. But every time you shoot near post, and I'm not saying finesse, I'm just talking normal shoot, like for example circle or B, he doesn't really react to it. But because he comes out for crosses and he rushes out with those 2 examples we mentioned before, for example, the crosses, corners, and through balls, he does make up for it in that situation. But you will notice if you're in decent defensive position, holding in a 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1, and your opponent does break into the box with pressure around him, if he shoots near post, it does go in. But he is up on the list because he's Brazilian, Premier League, really high rates are good for fodder as well as having rushing out for the 2 best traits in the game, which is rushing out of goal and come for crosses. We will go have a look at his price right now. So it's coming around about 36k. He is a bit inflated because of the SBCs we have at the moment, which is obviously the base icon and the hero SBC repeatable. Obviously it's around Black Friday, so these will drop down. But again, you've got such good links of him. You've got the Marquinhos link to the Militao card if you want to go La Liga and Ligue 1. He's probably the 2nd best Brazilian goalkeeper in the game, give or take the league that or the information you're about to receive in a minute. But because he's Prem, you've got so many other options. Again, you can link to Varane, you can have Marquinhos on the other side, and then you can have a link there. But his price does make him not any higher than that, and that's because of what I've mentioned. He just doesn't seem to do well with the near post. But that does lead us on to number 6. Number 6 being Oblak. And there's many reasons for this. I think Oblak is a fantastic keeper, but you have to consider his links, his prices. Being the highest rated goalkeeper in FIFA means he's going to be extremely high priced for a goalkeeper because of SBCs and much, much more. But he is coming in at 6'2", same as Ederson. Again, probably the best base stats for a goalkeeper you can have. Kicking, to me, is not that important. His sprint speed is good, acceleration is bad, and that is a problem for him. But his handling, goal positioning, and diving is fantastic. And then again, he has come for crosses. And a long throw. If you like to counter-attack with a long throw, he can do that for you. But coming for crosses, again, is very important. But this is the reason why he's number 6 is because of his links and his prices. We will have a look at his price right now. So he's coming in around 55k, and that is why he is only number 6 on our list and not much higher than that. With the links, is one of those is annoying because you've only got yourself La Liga options, which obviously La Liga have okay defenders with the Militao, as I mentioned, and possibly Kuyunde or someone else that I've forgotten off the top of my head. Yeah, you got the Hermosa strong link, but they're not going to save you in the top tiers of FIFA, or if you're in competitions or in foot champs or the top end of rivals. The goalkeeper will save you, the defenders won't, and that's going to be a big problem, especially being from Slovenia as well. It doesn't help. But that does lead us on to our number 5. So number 5 is Donnarumma. Again, a lot of people are using Donnarumma, but since we had our latest patch, he has seemed to have disappeared with his hands. He's 6'5", right-footed. Again, reach style foot, and that doesn't matter. Acceleration, sprint speed, very standard for a keeper. His position isn't the greatest, and I generally think that's the main reason why he's conceding a lot more goals, as well as that handling. His kicking's okay, reflexes are great, diving is great. So if you do long finesse shots, he's always going to save them, well, 9 out of 10 times, and that's because he's 6'5", great diving, and very good reflexes. But if you shoot across goal, if you don't know what that means, you shoot from the left-hand side across to the right-hand side or near post. For some peculiar reason, after the patch, he doesn't seem to make many saves. You have to put a glove on him, and it's one of those. He does have two of the best traits in the game, as you already know if you would have seen the other players. But there's something about him, he just doesn't seem to do well in one-on-one situations. He's now gone from the best keeper, in my opinion, in the game to number 5, and that's down to the new update or how his hands just disappear. But it's a controversial one of him because a lot of pros do use him because obviously got the strong links to some of the best defenders in the game. But let me know how you feel about this. He's my number 5 for that reason. Just a quick one on him. We are going to move on to number 4. And we have got ourselves Mignan, a really cheap option. This card is so good. It causes you so many problems. I don't know why. He's like a cheat code or something. Coming in at 6'3", 4-star weak foot if that's important to you. Again, the same acceleration and speed as all the other cards. Okay, you might look at these stats and go, well, these ain't as good as the others. He is 84 rated, but there's just something about him. It's a pain. He does come for crosses, so he has got one of the better traits. And his links are really good. If you have yourself a hero Cordoba, as well as any Kempembe, for example, or Varane, you can go so many options of him. Being in Serie A is great. If you've got Tia Hernandez and you need that link, go get yourself Cordoba or another French player, and he'll link to both of those. Obviously, you've got the left back to the centre back to the goalkeeper, then off to Kempembe and then Hakimi, for example. You've got yourself a solid back line. For his price, that is why he's in the top 4. Obviously, his trait again coming in. We will check his price quickly. So he's coming in around 5.5, 6k on a push, and that's only because he's inflated right now because of all the SBCs that are out. So that is why he's top 10, and this is why he's even in the top 4 for me, just because of all those links, the price, the rating. There's so much more to have, as well as come for crosses. But that does lead us into our top 3 now. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscription button before we jump in. We do a lot of covering here. We do how-tos, trading, SBCs, are they worth it, player of the month reviews, and much more. So if you're really into that, helps me out by you hitting that like button and hitting that subscription button. And let's move on to our top 3. We mentioned him briefly earlier. It is Alisson. This guy is a rock. You'll see a lot of pros now using Alisson because he's just become so solid after the new patch. Coming in at 6'3", there seems to be a trait with these keepers around 6 foot to 6'3". They seem to be really broken right now. You can see really good stats again. Acceleration higher than sprint speed, which again is important because if he rushes out, he's going to get there to top speed much quicker than slowing up and then getting to top speed. You need your keeper to react. Again, a fantastic positioning, fantastic reflexes, fantastic handling and diving. Really good kicking. Overall, really rounded card, and that's before any chem style is placed. And again, he's got rushing out for goal. But the reason why he's not in top 2 for me, and it's just one of those things, he just doesn't come out for crosses on the trait. But because he doesn't have stay back, he's very balanced in that situation. So if you do press Y or triangle, he will come out and collect, as well as having a long throw, which obviously you can counter-attack with. And he has great links again. Obviously, the Marquinhos link into the Premier League with Varane, for example, or Militao for La Liga with the Mendy link. There's so many links with him. And being 89 rated does hinder his price for another reason of not being in the top 2 or top 1 of the last top 3 list. But let me just go have a look at his price. So he's currently coming around about 36k with glove on. Again, for an 89 rated keeper, that is not bad. For the Premier League's best keeper at this moment in time, due to this patch, that's good. His links alone are fantastic, and that is why he just seems to save a lot. He's very well balanced. He can take on the near shot post. He can take on the finesses. He can rush out if he needs to. It's just the crosses that let him down sometimes, but it is what it is. And that now leads us to our top 2. Number 2 is going to be a controversial one. It is Van der Sar. This card is always a problem in FIFA. Every pro's go-to, whether it's the base or mid or prime moments, they are always going to go for him. There's something written in the code about this card. It's probably down to his body type, but he's 6'6", an absolute giant. Again, standard speed, but if you look at his position, reflexes, and diving, being at 6'6" and having those reflexes and positioning means he doesn't get beat very often from the long range shots, from the crosses being 6'6". On one-on-ones, he'll rush out. He's just a phenomenal goalkeeper. He has got the long throw, and he does obviously come for crosses, as we've mentioned, as that being one of the most important traits for a keeper. And I know what you're going to say. He's far too expensive to buy, but that is the reason why, because his links are phenomenal. As you know, he can link to anyone. It doesn't matter who. But he is also a go-to with pros. Pros stick to players for a reason. They know the mechanics of the game. They know he works. Every pro or professional player or esports player or content creator will tell you at the top levels that he is the one or number 2 go-to in this case. And let's go have a look at his price. As you can see, he's coming in at around 500k, just over. And that is the reason why, is because of how good he is. This is why his price is so high. And this is the only reason why he's not number 1, is because of his price tag. Which then leads us on. And a lot of people are going to disagree with this because he's not going to have all the things I've said earlier. But there's something about this card if we do move on to number 1. And that is the milestone card, Beerho. He is titled as the cheap Van der Sar. He's 6'2", as we know. Has been a bit of a meta at the minute. Just noticing now going through this list. He is a free card to get. You just have to play, I think it's like 5 squad battle matches and you get him. If you look at his stats, really rounded in diving, handling, kicking, reflex, positioning. But look at his speed. He rushes out if you tell him to. His acceleration is going to get you there. He can almost play centre back with that acceleration and speed. I know it would be difficult, I understand, but it's just something about this card. He's coded at the moment to be ridiculous. He saved me. He is in my main team, and he has saved me in so many games. We hit rank 1. We get Elite Division thanks to our goalkeeper. He comes in clutch. He comes out for crosses, which is the most important thing. Injury prone means absolutely nothing in FIFA. For some reason, that's a trait. I don't know why, but it means absolutely nothing. He comes out for crosses. He always wins the corners. If you move him manually to collect the glitch from the corner, he will get it. If he doesn't, he still saves it because of his speed and reflexes and positioning. I have got a glove on him, as you can see, and I generally think that is his best chem style. But because this card is free, it only takes you about an hour, maybe an hour and a half max to complete it, to get the card. And he has the links to the other milestone cards, let alone anyone else. It just makes him ridiculous. I will now go to show you my main team. As you can see here, checkers are worst. Lloris coming in next, and then our back 4 here, and then our defense, and then goalkeeper being number 1 for me is that Beerho, or I'll pronounce his name wrong, Bijlo, I apologize. But I will show you my main team now, just to show you what I use. We did hit rank 1 last week, but as you can see, this is the team that we use to get into rank 1 in champs, as well as Elite Division. He's in there with the strong link, with the other 2 cards you get from doing the same objectives. This one's obviously online, but this one you get for squad battles as well as this one. And then we get obviously the striker. But you can see 10 chem. You look at his actual in-games now. Gets +5 on positioning, which is the only thing I'm really worried about. That's why I put a glove on. The others I'm fine with. Acceleration, speed, reflexes, kicking are okay. And obviously we get the bonus on diving and handling. So it makes him a 98 diving, a 98 in handling, and an 86 in positioning. And he just is phenomenal for me. We have switched up a team up today this week. In fact, we did have Vidic here before. That was our team before, but we did get Cordoba in our hero. We have put him there. But this is a team we use. So you can see there are some mad signings. This is my untradeable team, I will add. So I am very lucky, but I do grind the league SBCs. All of that is in the channel, so if you have not seen that and want a team like this, you can. This is my full untradeable team. But this team carries me at the top divisions. This team carries me in foot champs. This team carries me everywhere. And it's down to starting at the core and the goalkeeper. As you can see here, just to show you I am ranked in the Elite Division. It's just one of those. It's something to really be cautious with. I've seen a lot of people rocking Cech because they've got fodder, and you might have made that decision. And I've seen a lot of people hating on Cech, and I do think it's down to what we covered. But that is going to be the video today. If you disagree with anybody in this list, please comment down below. Let's have a chat. Any opinions welcome. It is, at the end of the day, opinions. This doesn't reflect how they played in real life. If you are new to the channel, so hit that subscription button. Turn on notifications bell so you don't miss a future video. Catch you in the next one.
I'm coming with a vision that's cold. You can sit back, chill with a pen and take notes. I haven't got time for the tripping flow. I'ma take my aim with a pen and unload. Cut back spray, let my enemies know when I reach.